Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's about 3 o'clock. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late, but it has been a bit of a weird day. And I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of have to get my stuff together to go live. It's like, oh, um, yeah. How's everybody doing? I hope that you're not freezing your butts off too bad. Um, it's been wild. And I know, especially like, oh, I may have just muted myself there. Um, the weather's been so crazy. I was watching live TV last night and seeing what was happening down south, and it was like, oh my God, they're getting pummeled with as much snow as it felt like we were getting last weekend. So hopefully, all of you that are down south are doing okay. Because I know you're not. You don't have the supplies to deal with it like we do, and yeah, that gets scary in a hurry. Like watching in fascination as places that I vacationed, like down in Hilton Head, is getting snow. It's okay. Things here are good. We were all week, they were threatening that we were going to get part of that storm up here. And it kind of, I guess it just went too far offshore. And maybe just the Cape and Cape Cod is getting part of it. But it's been sunny here all day. So we definitely escaped it. I'm sure my son is going to be bummed that he does have school tomorrow. Last week he got 2 days off. I guess with the plowing and everything, they were not able to get it done by the end of Monday. So all the kids got 2 days. And they've now announced that any further delays are basically going to be remote days instead of true snow days, which kind of sucks, honestly. I'm like, let the kids have snow days. But that also means that they won't have to go later into June, and they go late in June as it is by the end of the year. So balancing act. I'm leaning back in my chair, by the way, because if I lean forward, I'm going to go blind because the sun is right there. It's that time of year. But so let's see what's going on with stitching. I had a really, really good January. I got both of my whip goes done. Last week I showed what I did on Water Garden for the month, and I was working on my goals for Hugs and Kisses. So it took me all the way till yesterday. I don't know why it took me so long. But I got my goals done. So here's where Hugs and Kisses sits as of today. Balance it here. During the last month, I finished off this row. I did all of this one. I finished this big one. That's getting off the screen. This set of hearts, and started to put in this. So that wound up being just over 1,000 stitches, which is my whip go goal on all of my pieces this month. So super happy on that. I also, let's see, what else did I do? Where are they? Because they're all right here. Last night, since I finished my whip go goals before pretty early in the day, I finally got in some stitches on the stitch along I'm doing with my friend Joanna up in Maine. This is a Christmas tree from All Through the Night. We're all doing it, and colors are to your choosing. So just a really, really, really basic start. I only got about like 60 stitches in because by then my eyes were starting to get way too tired. I'm doing this on, what am I doing this on? Seraphim Fabrics. I forget what TWIS is. I bought this up at Randy's shop in Northern Mass, but it's 40 count. And it's going to be really, really pretty. The floss is a Threadworks number Oh, of course, the sticker's right over the number. It's a really pretty kind of deep red, russety red, and it has a little bit of variation in it. So, yeah. So I got that done, and I think that's all I worked on since I saw you last. I didn't get anything else done on Fox and Rabbit, their new stitch along for the year, but I kind of have that in my goals for the next few weeks with the Stitching Olympics, because those start on Friday. So I'm going to try to get myself caught up through through February's section, which I need to make a note to download today because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, it was a good month. I got a lot done. I got more done than I hoped. And now I'm going to be, my new whip goes for February are Live on Little from Plum Street, which I was looking for, and it's buried in the disaster back here in these bins. So I'll bring that out next time. Instead, I'm going to start my stitches for the month on Miss Lucy Calcutt 1825, which is this really pretty piece. And I am doing this in a conversion with hand-dyed fibers. So here's my pile of silks. And this is my fabric. And I have it written down somewhere. I'll look for the specifics of what it is during the sprint, because I have it written down on a piece of paper. But this is where I'm starting for the month. So I don't have a ton done, but it's a, really pretty piece, really pretty colors. I bought this at Celebration Needlework. Oh gosh. Was it the year it came out? 2017? That sounds about right. Either 2017 or 2018. Just Stitching Along was at Celebration of Needlework up in Nashua that year, and they had the model, and I just fell in love with it. So I was like, I need that. I need that right now. And then I finally got to starting it. So all I can tell you is it's definitely on 40 count because I'm crazy and like everything has been on 40 count lately. But that's about all I can tell you right now. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. Unlike last week, I am not going to be bouncing back and forth between my desk and watching the game. So I will be here and I can chat during sprints a little bit, although I will be trying to focus on stitching. If you're here, let me know what you're working on. And that's about it. So if you're new and you're just joining us, the way that this is going to work is I am going to run a 45-minute sprint, and then we'll come back and we'll chat for a little bit, a few minutes, just take a stretch break, and then we'll go back and we'll repeat that 2 more times with 45-minute sprints. And then we will do a 15-minute wind down sprint, which will be, if you're to mark off like what you've done on a project, make your notes for next time, if you've got stuff to fix, because like me, I always wind up miscounting somewhere and then I got to go fix it. Or just, that if you just want to take off, then that's cool too. This is a come and go as you are. If you don't cross stitch, that's okay. This is an equal opportunity productivity time. You can use it to read, you can use it to knit, you can use it just as I need to set myself a timer to go clean my room, my office, whatever. Whatever you want to do. We welcome everybody here. So just say hi, let us know what you're working on, and that's it. So I'm going to start us off on the first sprint, and just pop in and say hi if you're here, and I will see you in about 45 minutes. All right. Happy sprinting, everybody. Hello, everybody. How was your stream? Mine was pretty productive. I'm looking over here because I have a friend that popped to say hi. And we've been chatting a little bit because she finally finished Stranger Things. And I'm like, so what'd you think? And she really liked it, just like I did. It's kind of funny to see how different generations take the end of that show. And so far, pretty much everyone I know that's Gen Xer who, was either of the group that was of that age or like the younger set of kids who would have been my age. We all love it because we recognize a lot of what was going on back then. And I think we have a bit more of the context. But I find that a lot of the Gen Zers struggle with a little bit of some of the subtext, especially in that finale. And I don't think it's anything, I think it's just a recognizing of what was going on in the 80s and being around then to understand why some things couldn't happen the way they did versus how they might happen now. And it's interesting to hear everybody's different takes on things. But yeah. Oh, and yes, I have some incense going, so you might see a little smoky going on here, but that's just an incense stick. One of the side effects of having as many cats as I do is that there is a cat box here in my office on the other side of the room, and it gets a little every once in a while. So the incense helps with things. Anyway, so how'd you do? I am working on this basket. I decided that I'm going to go up during the streams today because I really want to be able to start putting some of the border in from time to time because it is a very monotonous border, but it is big. And I don't want to have to just be doing that at the end. So I do want to take this up here, so I can start bringing some of this around. It also is just a good sight point just to make sure that I have everything lined up correctly as I go. So that is what I am working on today. And it also was a pretty easy one since there's a lot of straight lines and like simple fills. So yeah, so getting the baskets in. I won't get that entire motif done today, but I'll get a good chunk of it done. I'm hoping to just at least get the green, all the shrubbery in, and then I can put the blooms on later. Let's see. Let me go to chat for the day. So while I was on, I think I was the only one who was on when things started. But then Glenda came in and said hello. My friend Chad came in and said hello. Sadia came in and said hello. Nicole came in and said hello. And thank you all for joining me, even if it was just for a few minutes. I really appreciate it. If you are around, please keep Chad and his wife Janine in your thoughts. They're going through a really, really rough period with health stuff that on Janine's side, and definitely can use all of the good vibes that they can possibly get because it has just been a long haul, and it's going to be a long haul. So please keep them in your thoughts. Yeah. But yeah, it's been anyway. So since I don't know who else is watching right now, it seems like it's kind of quiet today. I think people are off getting things done and probably digging out of snow and running a lot of errands, especially for those of us who are watching the Super Bowl next week. But yeah, it's just kind of a quiet weekend. I think a lot of people are just cozy. Nicole is working on Mole from Mama Witch at Cross Stitch. Is a cute mole reading in front of a fire. I haven't seen that one. I don't think I know Mama Witch. Let me go and pop that one up while we're talking. There are so many new designers that I am just not familiar with, especially on Etsy. I haven't done any shopping on Etsy in a while. Oh, wait, I know this designer. Yeah. Oh, that is cute. That is really cute. I had seen, which one of hers did I have in my cart? I had her, the moth one that said "Stay Weird." I wanted to do that one, and I really liked the Adopt a Ghost, the cat ghost. Yeah, she has some cute stuff. I just didn't know that that's who she was. Um, but yeah, I love all the new designers coming out. There's just the diversity just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger in cross stitch. And I was one of those that started in the 80s with the classic, Dale Burdett uh, bookmarks. And I have done more geese and more teddy bears in standard lone 400s and 200s colors. I never need to do anything in dusty rose again. Um, Glenda is reading Deja Brew by Celestine Martin, Cozy Paranormal Romance. Nice. I am currently reading Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it, and I totally could see that happening in one of my my family's Dungeons and Dragons games. I totally could see one of my characters going, you know what? Screw this adventuring and fighting thing. I'm just going to go and start a coffee shop in the city. It may have to happen with one of my characters just for the heck of it. But yeah, all of the like branching out of the cozy genres. I haven't done as much cozy romance yet, but that once I get through some of my TBR pile, I definitely want to go that way. I've bought way too many books and I can't justify anything else until I finish some of the stuff I own. I kind of should be doing the same thing with my cross stitch because, oh my God, I have too much. But hey, it's the stuff that makes us happy, right? And I figure I cannot die until I finish all of my stash, both reading and cross stitch. That's just the rules. If you buy it, you got to be able to survive to finish it all, right? So you just got to keep buying some stuff. Yeah. Nicole said, I love Legends and Lattes. I can't wait to read the new one. I think, there's 2 books published, I think, so far. I think we're waiting on the 3rd one. I think that's right. That one I'm going to be looking forward to following along as that series develops. Dungeon Crawler Carl is the other big one that I'm involved with, and the 8th book comes out in May. My husband will probably pick up the digital or the audio version of that, and then I'll go and I'll buy the hard copy so that we have both in the house because we both enjoy them so much. Jim Butcher's series is another one, and I think the book just came out for that one, so my husband's doing the audio. I can't do the audio even though they're narrated by the actor who did Spike on Buffy. That's one of those series I need to read. I'm much more of a hard copy reader than I am an audiobook, which is why I was shocked that I really, really liked the Dungeon Crawler Carl audios so much. I just got completely taken over by that series last year. I think I listened to it back to back twice through during my commutes to Boston last year. So I'm like, don't start it again. Do something else for a little while. You need to read the other stuff that you have. Okay, so there's 2 books in that series so far. All right, cool. So I won't be too far behind. I'll be able to finish that 2nd one and then be ready for when the 3rd one comes out. Cool. Travis Baldree, by the way, comes up on the audio. He plays one of the characters on Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think it's Raoul the Crab, I believe is his name, that he plays. I was like, oh, yeah, all these guys know each other. It's, geek families are just this big, happy joining of people. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, let me get us into our next sprint. So we'll do another 45. and I will see you guys then. I'm going to grab myself a new cup of tea because I think I need something to drink. It's with how cold it is, it's really dry up here. Of course, having incense burning is really helping too. But, anyway. All right. Oh, Nicole says, I got my boyfriend to try Dungeon Crawl Carl for his first audiobook. He then blazed through Alt 7. Same. My husband was trying to get me to he was like, you really, 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 really should listen to this one. And I'm like, yeah. I'll get to it. And then as soon as I did, I was hooked. Yeah. It's just fun. It's a little gritty. There's a lot of swearing, which doesn't bother me, but I know does bother some people. And it's just so much fun. And you just, between like some good heavy emotional writing and then just half the time you're just cracking up laughing. So it helps me get through that commute to Boston. It just makes it so much more fun. I could not work while listening to that though, because it would just completely pull my attention away all the time for what I really should be doing. But anyway, all right, let me get us on a countdown and I will see you guys in another 45 minutes. Happy sprinting. Oh my goodness. That one went fast and I did not get as much done as I thought it would. Oh, that's okay. Some sprints are going to be like that, right? So how did everybody else do? I saw that Liz came in while we were sprinting and was apologizing for being late, but you're not late. You're never late. There's like, we're not on a required time thing here. You know, come and go as your schedule allows. That's it. You, even if you're here for 2 seconds and just say hi and, you know, and disappear, that's cool. I'm just happy for people to show up and be here when they can be. Seriously, this is not a required class. You don't need to check in. If you are here and just under the radar, that's cool too. It just feels weird for me to be, you know, talking to the ether and no one's here. So yeah, God, that incense stick is smoking like crazy over my screen. All right, well, you're gonna see me be all mystical. Ooh. So I did not have the greatest of sprint, but I did get a little bit done. I got the basket done. And I'm starting to go up into the green. For some reason, I had a hard time finding the green I needed, and I was grabbing the wrong one, and then like 3 times I was starting on the wrong spot and kept going on to the same incorrect spot. So I was like, oh, we're going to have one of those days. Okay. But yeah, so I am starting to get where's the chart in my mess here? I'm starting to develop the stick of that bush up. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Nicole said that she got 52 stitches in and talked to her boyfriend for a bit. Yeah, I was chatting some more with my friends that I haven't talked to in a couple of weeks because we've all just been busy. So we've been texting back and forth. And you know, that's just how some of these go. I mean, sometimes you just need a mental health sprint, which is cool. And it's a Sunday. It's not like, you know, I mean, we're just kind of getting stuff done and hanging out and whatever. So that's how it goes. I don't know. I'm tired today. And now it's starting to get dark. So it's like, I'm really, really tired today. But I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Even though work will be exactly where you see me right now. I work from home on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then I head up to Boston on Wednesday and Thursday for the day. So this is my office for half of the week. And I feel like I live in this room a lot more than I probably should, but that's okay. When the weather gets warm, maybe I'll like do some web streaming from outdoors a little bit. Obviously can't do that right now, especially since there's, you know, 1.5 feet of snow sitting on top of my table outside. But maybe I'll try some live streaming from my back patio. That's an idea. Anyone else get some stuff done during that sprint, or was it just kind of quiet and doing your thing? And anyone have any goals for the month in stitching or otherwise? I am going to, so WIPGO, I've got my 2 projects. I'll be doing this one, 1,000, and then I will be getting 1,000 in on Live on Little by Plum Street. I have a couple of small pieces that are started that I want to kind of get to where I can get them together for finishing, because I'm going to meet up with some friends for finishing in March. And I really would like to get some small finishes done just to completely cross them off my list, and make a little more room in there. And I started sorting floss, which was a horrifying thing because, oh my God, I have so much floss. But I want to get those divided up, especially my DMC, divide them up into like different bags by hundreds, so I can just find stuff easier, because I just feel like my floss is just like this disastrous hoard of my system is not working for me, bottom line. And I need to figure out something better, because I've tried a couple of different things and it's just not sticking. So, but I need to get this stuff organized, because um, my family is planning on moving at some point, hopefully by the beginning of the next school year or very shortly after that, depending on, timing of finding and buying a house and selling our current house. Um, and we're planning on moving up into Massachusetts because of mostly because of my husband's commute, but it will also help mine significantly, and get Max into a better school system for high school, because I do feel like he had a great elementary school, but I am seeing the backslide now that he's in middle school, so I don't want him to fall further behind. So we've got that going, but oh my God, the prices of houses in Massachusetts versus Rhode Island. Oh, we're looking at probably doubling our mortgage, and it truly horrifies me. We're 20 years into ours, and it's like, oh, we get to start over. Yay. But yeah, so I want to get stuff sorted and organized, because a lot of my stuff is going to have to get packed up real quick, and to be able to find it, especially after we move, is going to be kind of, a big deal, so that I can get into stuff pretty quickly. And also just partly to destash and get stuff weeded out that I don't need, so that I'm not porting more stuff over with me than I need, or that I want. I should quote, I don't need anything but want, because there is stuff that's been sitting here that I'm probably never going to do, and I just really should just say goodbye to it and let it find a new home. So, but I'll be doing that by the time like the Stitch New England retreat comes up in October, first week of October, because I don't know if I'll be able to get to Celebration of Needlework up in Nashua, New Hampshire in May. I'm going to try, but I always wind up being like really, really busy that weekend. And that's the weekend right before my son is testing for his new black belt. So I have a feeling we're going to be going a little nuts that weekend. Anyway, since it seems to be kind of quiet on chat, I think I will get us going on our final 45-minute sprint. So go ahead and get back to what you're doing, and I will see you in another 45 minutes. All right. See you guys soon. Happy sprinting. Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Hang on. I have my screens reversed. Ha! All right. So have everybody do that sprint. I had a much better sprint this time. I am moving that shrub along. It's getting right up there, which is nice. So I'll have the basis of it, and I can start putting all the fruit on it later tonight if I'm still stitching. Not sure yet if I may switch though, because this is 40 count. So, you know, as it gets dark and I don't have as good of light, where am I? Gah, take the readers off. That might help. Once it starts getting dark and it gets a little harder to see it, it's starting to get kind of hard in here, even though I have like a super bright light right here. So I may quit stitching on it for the night, but I'm happy with what I got done for today. So that, you know, progress is progress, right? Every stitch counts. I was watching, since I had been chatting with her, with my friend Amy, I was catching up on her floss tube that she posted on Thursday. She is Gable Stitcher, and she has a couple of really, really, really good ideas for goals and how to like sort through her stitching for the year on making progress on things. It won't work for me this year only because of the impending move. So I don't want to make anything super, super solid this year for goals, because otherwise I'm going to just anger myself by the end of the year. But for next year, it might be what I try to do. This year, I'm pretty much, my goal is I'm sticking to Whip Go. And so I have, you know, the bingo board with a goal of 1,000 stitches a month. Yeah, I'll show it because I have it actually right in front of me. So I have my, there we go. I have my Whip Go board with my pieces, 1,000 stitches on each. The two in blue were the ones for January, and when I fully fill things in, that means that I accomplished my goal. The ones now in pink are the ones for February. Some people have a free space here for 13, like a traditional bingo board does. I put one in there because I have so many whips. And that month just becomes a little bit of chaos when 13 gets called, because that's the month that 3 projects get called. I hope that will be probably in like October, November, fingers crossed, because that's when I have retreats. So I could actually really accommodate 3 pieces in a month. But so I'm doing that. And then I'm also, I belong to Semi-Sane Stitchers on Facebook, and they are doing a 26 and 26 challenge this year, where basically they divided the year up into 26 periods, because, you know, there's 52 weeks. And in each of those 2-week periods, you set a goal with a number of stitches, or I think pages were accepted too, but like 500 stitch increments during that 2 weeks, and then post your progress. I totally forgot to post what my goal was this past Wednesday. So I'm quote unquote out for this 2-week period, but it would have been this. So the goal that I set was going to be this anyway. So I'll make it. I just won't get, you know, the credit for it. But I'm keeping track of that as well. That's all I'm really doing for like goals for the year, because I just can't set anything too solid this year since we're moving. You know, and yeah, I'm gonna maybe, if depending on when we move, maybe I'll do some for like the end of the year, but I just know this year is going to be too crazy. So and plus I'm trying to do some creative writing, and I've got a lot going on, so I just need to chill on my goals this year. All right, let's see what everyone else has been doing. So Nicole got 43 stitches done. Nice. And she said that her goals for this month are to finish the small project and work a bit on my larger haunted house project. Yeah. Who are you doing a haunted house by? Because there's a few different designers that have them. And I swear that all of the haunted houses, you think that they're going to be like shorter than they are. Houses always are like my nemesis because you look and you're like, oh, it's straight lines. It'll be fast. It'll be fine. And then you get into there and you're like, this thing is taking forever. Where are all these stitches coming from? And yeah. Live on Little is that for me because that house in the center of Live on Little is a bit of a beast and it's like all in brick. So it's very detailed. But I'm trying to do that first to get it out of the way. And then I think the rest of the project will be smoother. I won't say easier because it's got a lot going on, but smoother. Liz says that she's working at a free chart for Victoria Sampler. Blanket stitch. I haven't done that in years. Yeah, I haven't done a blanket stitch in quite a while myself. I think the last time I did one was when I was stitching on the wimple that I did for my friend's daughter when she was having her bat mitzvah. And yeah, I've got one Victoria Sampler going and it's one of her easier projects that there is cut work on the bottom but if I get to the cut work, I don't know if I'll do it yet or not. Cause I've never done cut work. I know I should try it one of these years, but I'm still like nervous to cut threads. We'll get there. It's a goal for some time as I continue to broaden my stitching horizons, we'll put it that way. But yeah, when you run into those stitches that you know how to do, but you haven't done in a while, it's like, oh, where's the muscle memory? It's like, this shouldn't be that hard, but Sadie has been cleaning. Nice. I'm glad. I hope you're making good progress. I need to do that a lot. Our house is a wreck. So that is between over the next week, I've got like a couple of things every day I'm trying to do. And then I'm looking forward to President's Weekend in theory to really catch up on some stuff since I've got that long weekend. Because yeah, my house needs a lot of work. We were like behind because of the trash pickup between the storm and with Christmas and everything, and we couldn't fit anything in the bin. So now that we're like caught up on stuff, now I can start sorting stuff again. Because a lot of it's not paper and it's not recyclable. It's stuff that actually just needs to get tossed. So I need to kind of divvy it out so it'll fit into our bin, which is a pain in the neck because I don't want to like rent a dumpster, especially now we have nowhere to put it. All righty, let's see. So Liz said that she's making a chart each month for Christmas ornaments. Okay. I thought she'd retired. Or maybe she's just retired from teaching. I never got to take a class with her. That's like one of the few things that I never was able to do. I couldn't make it work in my schedule. Glenda says hello to Sadie and Nicole. Liz is like, no, I'm not cutting it. I don't blame you. I know it's not as bad as it's supposed to be, but I don't either. And Shine Star Cross Stitch on Etsy. Okay, cool. That is one I know I'm not familiar with, so I'll have to go back and pop it in and check those out in a bit. Nicole said hello back to Glenda. Liz took 2 with Taya. I imagine you took those at Hideaway. I only took a couple of classes at Hideaway because I was kind of later into the group that went up there. Kind of sad that retreat has retired, but it had a good long run. So I'm not, in a way, I'm kind of not surprised. And, you know, everyone has they all have their lifespans. And so there's so many retreats out there now that it's like, you can find anything for anyone, which is kind of awesome. Further back in the conversation, I forgot, my friend Margaret was asking what the smoke was, and I had to explain to her that, no, really, I'm not burning the house down. It just was a very, 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 very exceptionally smoky piece of incense. I'm not burning anymore. I didn't realize it was coming up that strongly on the screen. It's like, okay, so we won't be putting, or if I burn it in the room, it's not going to be here on my desk. We'll move it back there so that it's off screen, because people are going to think that I'm setting my house on fire, and I promise I'm not. But it was getting much stronger than I expected it would be. Yeah. All right. So Liz said, yeah, that she took the 2 with Taya. Yeah, I took the 2 that I took at Hideaway were I took Belinda's class from Blue Blue Ribbon Designs, the Christmas one, and then I took Jeanette Douglas when she did 4 Seasons of Mystic. And I finished both of those pieces. Hooray me. The only 2 class pieces I've finished. I've taken some other classes since then, and none of those are done yet, but we'll get there. Some of them are on that WIPGO group, so hopefully I can make some progress on them. Oh, you're welcome, Nicole. Thanks for coming by. I will not be here next week because of the Super Bowl, but I will be here the following Sunday. I've already set up the scheduled things on my website, so come on back. I'll be here most Sundays, probably through the rest of the year, unless I let you know otherwise. But yeah, I will be prepping for the Super Bowl next week, since I am a Patriots fan, which I know a lot of people don't like, but hey, you know, I live 40 minutes from the stadium. It's kind of a requirement when you're in the local area. So yeah, next week I will not be here, but we will pick this back up the following Sunday. And since that is a long weekend, I will probably try to do some sort of pickup sprints either on the Saturday or the Monday. It kind of depends on how my schedule goes that weekend, and also, you know, what the weather's like and whatnot. Because my son will be here, and I'll be trying to catch up on some stuff around the house. So, all right. And Liz said that, yep, Citrus Hideaway, me, same ones. Yeah, because that's where I met you, I think, in 2010, which is kind of cool. It's fun how the stitching community interacts with each other, and it's changed so much since that first Hideaway that I went to. It's awesome. It's like expanded so much, and there's so many different things going on, and so many designs and so many styles. It's like I honestly, I love it, and I want to stitch everything. So if anybody figures out how we can break the time continuum here and be able to stitch as many hours as we want in a day and still get the things we're required to do done, let me know, because I will pay you my entire salary for a year to be able to figure out that amazing gift. All right, so it is 6 o'clock, and we've done our sprints. So we're going to do the wind down sprint for those who are still hanging out with us. And, you know, mark what you've done, mark your stuff for next time. If you're heading out elsewhere, thank you again for coming to hang out with me for a little bit tonight. I really appreciate it. It's great to see everybody, and I hope you have an awesome week. And I will see you in 15 minutes if you're still around. All right. Happy last sprint, and make your notes. All righty. So, oh, well, we are not, the next stream is not on March 1st. My goodness. I thought I fixed these things, but I guess it updated all of them. Let's do that over again, shall we? We are doing the next one on the 15th. Very 15th. There we go. Let's save that. Ha. There we go. Okay. So, yes, our next stream will be on the 15th. Same bat time, same bat channel. I won't be around next week, but I'm going to try to do a couple of streams that weekend, partially for stitching and also because this month is NaCoWriMo and LetterMo, which are two pen pal writing challenges that I participate in every year. I think this is like the 12th or 13th year that I've been involved in them. And so I'm writing lots of letters this month. And having timers to do those is kind of nice too. So I will be back in a couple of weeks. And oh, Glenda got to week 273 of Deja Brew. Awesome. Yeah, let me know how that one is because that may go on to my list. My never ending whip list and to be read list. Oh, too many hobbies, not enough time. But anyway, all right, guys, have a great night. Happy reading, happy stitching. Hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you in a couple. Till then, take care, everybody, and stay warm and stay safe. Bye.